electrical energy is all around us. The stronger and more concentrated it is, the more spectacular it appears, and the more lethal it becomes. The Pokemon that can harness this energy are known as electric types. Hey guys, it's Andy. I'm here for day 9 of the 12 days of Pokemon types. I'm joined by Pockety.
Hey everyone.
And today we'll be going over electric types. So, Poketai, what is your favorite electric type Pokemon?
This is another one that should come as no surprise, Jolteon. Again, and this is going to sound very familiar to the last video. Very fast, very good special attack. And you just click Thunderbolt, and if they don't have a ground type, that is a good game. No, Jolteon has always been, it started out as my favorite evolution, and it has remained that way. It's always been really cool. I even, back from that episode in the Indigo League when Ash met the family of 4 brothers, and each of the older brothers had an evolution, and the younger one had Eevee, who he was all scared to say he didn't want to evolve as Eevee. But yeah, the Jolteon was really cool that episode, and then it was my favorite from then on, and it continues to be something really cool. Some weird coverage with Signal Beam and Shadow Ball. Signal Beam is the main coverage that hits the grass types that might want to switch in. You can attest, if I remember correctly, it can also, run that fire set of Flame Orbs with the Quick Feet and have infinity speed.
Yeah, don't know any madman that would actually do that though. but
yeah, so what do you think about Jolteon?
But yeah, Jolteon it's a cool mon. Probably in the middle ground of my favorite evolutions. I never really liked it, never really disliked it. I like it more now after I got put down by Quick Feet Jolteon, and I can see that the merit in its high speed and decent special attack. I kind of like it. That's really the extent of what I can say. I don't think I've ever used one in game. I've used it competitively a few times, and it is definitely good. So yeah, that is my opinion on Jolteon.
All right, and then who is your favorite electric type?
Well, some say that when the evolutions perished in the fire at the bell tower, the spirits created 3 new Pokemon, those being the legendary beasts, and my favorite is actually Raikou. My favorite electric type is Raikou. Definitely my favorite of those 3 beasts, though all of them are cool. Raikou is just my favorite because it's, like, growing up, it was the one that had the least spotlight, and when they put out that Pokemon, I think, not Origins, but there was some side series of Pokemon anime that they finally gave Raikou an episode, and I felt from then on Raikou was just so cool. It was my favorite, one of my favorite legendaries at that point. It was just like mysterious, and like before I even got into competitive, it just became like my favorite. And then once I got around to using it competitively, I could see, yeah, it's decent. It's not as fast as some electric types, not as strong as some electric types, not as bulky, and not as good coverage, but it's a right combination that just does it for me. So I definitely love Raikou, casually and competitively. How do you feel about Raikou?
All right, well, when I think of Raikou, it's Pokemon Chronicles, and it was not one episode, it was a multiple part episode. I don't know if it was 2 or 3. It was called The Legend of Thunder, and the first episode, and only the first episode of that, had the most incredible theme song, which you will put right now.
Okay. I don't remember how it goes, but I remember us jamming out to that.
Gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon, P-O-K-E-M-O-N. P-O-K-E-M-O-N. Pokemon, P-O-K-E-M-O-N. P-O-K-E-M-O-N. Pokemon.
And you will have played it there instead of making them listen to me singing it. But yeah, so that was, that's what I think of with Raikou. I never attended I don't know if it was mystery gifts in person or GameStop or whatever to get the shiny ones that had the special moves. Raikou having Aura Sphere was a cool thing for it, because if it's a ground type that's also rock or steel, then that's a super effective hit against it, and that was really cool. Yeah, Raiku's really cool. Oh, also, what the hidden ability is?
They're all
Volt Absorb, right?
It used to be, but now it's inner focus. They changed it, retroactively changed them all to have inner focus.
But yeah, no, Raiku's really cool. I mean, I understand. You liking that?
Okay. Well, what is your honorable mention for electric types?
Well, I only had one who hasn't been mentioned yet, and that would be the bigger mouse, which is Raichu. I have always liked Raichu more than the mouse or the itty bitty mouse. I like Raichu. I feel like it's underrated stats, and it's pretty cool. And I did almost get a nice, I think it was a 5-0 or a 6-0 sweep that I should have got, but I like double missed Focus Blast after getting to, I might have got to +6 with the Raichu in the last league that I was in. I still ended up, getting a good win there, but I got to +4 because of Lightning Rod. Anyways, I got it was +3 or +5 that I got to, and then I missed the Focus Blast. But yeah, I like Raichu. What do you think of Raichu? / because I'm pretty sure that will be a segue into you introducing one of your honorable mentions. So tell us about those as well.
Well, I definitely agree that it is underrated. I personally underrate it myself. It's decent. It got a buff 7th gen to, I believe, speed. They buffed it to 110, so it's got a pretty decent speed stat. Nice mixed offenses. So competitively, it's alright. It's never been really my thing, but I do agree that it is underrated. What do you feel about Alolan Raichu?
I don't like Alolan Raichu.
You don't like it?
That is my feelings.
Oh. I mean, I don't dislike it, but I prefer regular Raichu. But as for myself...
Yeah, it's not something I actively dislike. It's just I would always choose regular Raichu over Alolan Raichu.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But to go further than that, and like you alluded, I would prefer Pikachu over Raichu because Pikachu is in my honorable mentions. The mouse, I just always loved Pikachu. It's just cuter, and it is a bit more overrated, I will say, but I just always loved Pikachu. And when they gave it Light Ball and gave it that bit of a niche over Raichu, I've been a fan ever since. So yeah, Pikachu is one of my honorable mentions, and then the other is Magnezone. Never really got the appeal casually. It looked cool, but it didn't really feel like it didn't make sense to me as an evolution for Magneton. It went from 1 ball to 3 balls, and then just this big oval. It looked cool, like I said. It just didn't. The connection didn't really make sense to me at the time, but I've grown to appreciate it casually. Competitively, I have so much experience, positive experience with Magnezone, just for trapping bulky steals and removing them from my opponent's team. Just strong electric and steel type stab in general is nice to have. Its speed is a bit minimal, but still a big fan of Magnezone. How do you feel about those two?
Well, wait, I have a question for you. So, since you asked me about Raichu's forms, so which Pikachu form do you prefer? Regular Pikachu or Fat Pikachu from the original gen?
The modern Pikachu, because a lot of my older media, I have Pikachu. It isn't particularly chubby. The only chubby Pikachu from my memory is the card, the Pikachu card, which that is iconic to me. So it is difficult, but I think I prefer the new Pikachu just because that's so much more imposed in my subconscious, I guess. So you gotta go with that.
Okay. Well, as I've already thoroughly discussed, that I prefer Raichu to Pikachu. And actually, when I was considering the Magnet family, but I prefer Magneton to Magnezone. I've never used either too much competitively. I've used them in game, but Magneton just the better speed But I mean, both are cool. So yeah, I mean, I like them.
All right. What is your final thing to say about the electric type?
The electric type is really, really good. I mean, yeah, there's the ground type that has the immunity to it, but the fact that it only has that one weakness and that it has offensive coverage too, and oftentimes they get weird moves like Grass Knot, rip hidden power to hit the ground types that counter them. But it's pretty easy to know like, oh, your opponent has one thing that's immune to your stab. That's what's coming in, and plan for it. So yeah, I gotta really like the electric types. What do you think about that?
I from a non-competitive standpoint, electric is very cool. Back in the day, I actually thought the three main element types were water, fire, and electric. I thought the three starters were Squirtle, Charmander, and Pikachu. I didn't know Bulbasaur existed. So, so I've always felt like electric was one of the like quote unquote main three types. So it's always been definitely like important to me, and competitively it's very good for all the reasons you mentioned. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can think to say about electric type.
Okay.
So that will conclude day 9, 10. One of those days, maybe 8. I lost count. This day of the 12 days of Pokemon types. Be sure to check out next episode. Until that time, I'm Elogee.
I'm Pockety.
And we will see you then.